I've written this video 4 times, and I just couldn't figure out how I wanted to talk about this game. Do I talk about what I learned about pride flags while I was researching this, and how inclusive and accurate this game is on various sexualities? Do I talk about how all the seemingly complicated relationships in this game are all intertwined? Do I talk about the 3 types of love in Greek philosophy, and how this game explains them with its love interests? I can't decide. They almost feel like 3 different videos. So, why don't I talk about all 3? Pride and inclusion. Hades is a very gay game. While I was researching this video, I came across all the pride flags, and seeing as I know barely anything about my own community, I thought I would play a fun little game. I'm going to take all the characters from Hades and all the pride flags and try to match them up, and with my very limited knowledge, try to explain each group as they relate to each other. Hopefully, members of each of these groups can correct me in the comments, and we can all have a very professional discussion about the different groups within the gay community. I'm doing this so that you can see just how many gay characters and themes there are in Hades. So let's get started. There is really only one lesbian character in Hades, mostly because of how many bi characters there are. Artemis has become a very lesbian-centric character. Whenever other gods speak about her being single, she subtly hints that she may not be straight. This, added to her overall demeanor and look, makes a lot of people claim her as a badass lesbian. Whenever people talk about gay characters in Hades, there is one love story in the game that comes to mind: Achilles and Patroclus. Achilles is basically your personal trainer, and as you get closer to him, you learn that he is heartbroken. He's separated from the love of his life. And Patroclus is depressed and lonely in Elysium. Patroclus calls you a stranger and gives you the best boon in the game, the kiss of Styx, where he kisses you and heals all your extra lives back. When getting to know both of them, you learn that they stopped talking when they died, and they still love each other. And without spoiling it, it's one of the best romances I've ever seen in a game, period, let alone a gay romance. The main character of Hades, Zagreus, is canonically bisexual. Not bisexual through a hidden wall, but openly bisexual. His love interests are also bisexual. But at the center of this game is a bi character, and the story is about them discovering their past. Identity is the core of this story, and the love triangle between Meg, Than, and the main character is one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. Also, I couldn't talk about this game without talking about Hypnos, who does have a crush on Megera and is obsessed with Asterius, so you could argue he is bi, but it's not really proven. Really, I just love him, and it's bullshit that you can only become his best friend. I want more Hypnos. I want Hypnos to love me. Non-binary, agender. While there are no canon trans characters in Hades, there is a non-binary or agender character. Chaos is the parent of all the gods, and is non-binary. They have no gender, and while some could consider them alien, they are literally God. They are intimidating, kind, and know all. They might be one of the most powerful non-binary characters in video games. Aromatic Asexual. Dusa is a fascinating character, because when she's introduced, you might think she has a crush on you, but in fact, she's not attracted to you at all. Now, this may not be asexual, but a lot of asexual people find her relatable. Personally, I think Karen is asexual, because all he really cares about is money, and he never interacts with anyone sexually. But that might just be because you don't understand him. Pansexual, polysexual. Greek mythology is filled with characters that don't care what gender you are. Zeus, Dionysus, Aphrodite would definitely call themselves pan or polysexual. They sleep with many different people and are generally liked by most of the gods. While I was researching this, I found a few pride flags that I didn't know were a thing, and polyamory has the coolest flag I've ever seen. Megera and Aphrodite both date multiple people, and they aren't ashamed of it. It's normal for the gods to do what they will. You can even be in a polyamorous relationship in the game. I do wish it was done a little bit more up front. You can date Thanatos or Megera and start dating the other without really talking about it until later, but it's a start at least. There really isn't polyamory in anything. Bears. Leather/BDSM. Now, only one of these big men is actually canonically gay. Zeus is the only true bear in the game, but I couldn't talk about bears without pointing out Sisyphus being the cutest and most positive man I've ever seen, and Hades giving serious bear daddy energy. Another group that's not usually represented in games is BDSM. Megera is a literal dominatrix, punishing the wicked from the surface. But she isn't above punishing you in a very flirty way. Her sister, Alecto, is a good example of someone who goes too far, and the game actually only allows Megera in the main house because the other two have broken the rules. When Meg and you were in private, there's definitely a sense of some consensual bondage going on. The only other pride flags not represented in this game, as far as I know, are transgender, gender fluid, genderqueer, intersex, and demisexual. But I'm sure if they make a sequel, they'll be able to find some characters to fill in those roles. Relationships in Hades. It's surprising how inclusive this game is when almost everyone is related. They literally figured out how to explain these family ties without overcomplicating it. But even though they set it up perfectly, it can be confusing, not looking at it from above. To simplify it, other than all the mortal sign characters, there are basically 4 families in Hades. Nyx's family, the Fury sisters, Hades' family, and Persephone's family. 3 of these families are related to the main character Zagreus. Hades is his father's side, Persephone is his mother's side, and Nyx is sort of an adopted family he grew up with. Contrary to popular belief, Nyx isn't your biological mother. Nyx is more like a nanny. She raised you, and at the time, you thought she was your mother. But the 2 main love interests, Thanatos and Megera, aren't related. They just have the same boss. A lot of people think these characters are related, and they're not in any way. The 3 types of Greek love. There are 3 people you can fall in love with in Hades. Thanatos, Megera, and Dusa. Thanatos is the god of death. He's an edgy workaholic. He is your childhood best friend. He represents romantic love, and the 2 of you have been hiding your true feelings for each other. It's only when you try to leave that Thanatos realizes that he cares about you. The 2 of you interact when Thanatos breaks the rules and helps you clear a room. You both compete against each other to see who can take down the most enemies. Slowly, you both realize that you care about each other, and you spend the night together. After that, you are together. Other gods will comment on their opinion of Thanatos and will not judge you for sleeping together. The second love interest is Megera. She represents lust or sexual love. She's a dominatrix whose job is to kick your ass until you quit trying to escape. The 2 of you constantly flirt with each other and show that there is definitely chemistry between you 2. If you were dating Thanatos, you can still date Megera. And the only time you feel guilty is from your own personal self. The game doesn't shame you for this. In fact, Meg talks to Than for you, and the 2 of them arrange a night for all 3 of you to spend together. It's one of the few polyamorous moments in gaming. They both work for the same boss, but they don't work together. They both like you and don't mind each other. It's a win-win. You can date both of them, one of them, or none of them. It's up to you. This game finally fulfilled my high school dreams. I was in a love triangle when I was in high school, and it was not as fun as you would think. Generally because it wasn't a real love triangle, because the 2 of them did not like each other. The last love interest is Dusa. When you meet her, You might misread things and think that she has a crush on you, but actually, she's intimidated by you. You're a god and she's just a servant. Slowly, you begin to talk as friends with one another, until Nyx tells you you shouldn't be talking. After the two of you begin talking again, you each confess that you love each other. A few chats later, you ask Dusa if she's into you, and she shocks everyone in the world who thinks that she's been into you this whole time, when she says, "I'm not attracted to you at all." The two of you agree that you can stay as friends and just act like normal. This is the third kind of Greek love, platonic love. You love each other as friends, or maybe even family. It's nice to see a game has two friends say they love each other. And it could even be read that Dusa is aromantic or asexual and not even interested in anyone. In conclusion, Hades is an amazing game with amazing characters. I've played it for hours and hours, and I'm definitely going to replay it a third time at some point. It goes way beyond inclusive. It's a true gay game. And the best part is that it's not even the entire story. The main plot is about you reconnecting your mother and father. Zagreus just happens to be bisexual. Achilles and Patroclus just happen to be gay lovers. Artemis is your cool lesbian cousin. Chaos is a powerful, feared, non-binary parent. And the love between Orpheus and Eurydice is given equal weight to Achilles and Patroclus' love. Hades is a perfect game to play. And if all games were like it, the world would be a better place. I hope you enjoyed this. Play Hades. It's on everything, and it's pretty cheap. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye. This is a hard script. This is a hard script. I'm infuriated at how terrible I am at reading this. I'm doing this... Why do I suck? God. Damn. Achilles and Patroclus, whose name I cannot pronounce.
Patroclus.
Patroclus? That can't be right.
Patroclus.
Patroclus is better. Okay. It's heartbreaking. Damn it. Motherfucker. This is hard. Another pronunciation. Copy. Paste.
Charon.
Well, I'm not doing that one.
Karen.
It really is Karen. Alright. Oh. This video is going to be late. Oh my god. So late. Ooh, late. Whew. Okay. Alright. Well, yeah. I'll be okay. Okay. I hope I didn't mess up any lines.